Good evening. It's been a while. In my hand, I have a replica red key card from Doom Eternal. It's pretty good material. It's metal. Excuse me, not Doom Eternal. It's from Doom the Dark Ages. Part of its collector's edition. I just have it in my hand because it helps me think and articulate my thoughts a little bit better. A lot has happened in the gaming industry. Some good and what feels like a lot of bad things. The biggest one is that Sony has decided to cease making physical media beginning the year 2028. And if you've been living under a rock, then, I don't know how you could be, but the backlash was enormous. There are thousands of memes, tweets, videos that have been calling out Sony and PlayStation. Because those, especially those gaming enthusiasts like myself, know it's a bad deal. Because physical media is the only insurance we have that we own the products that we buy, that we purchase with our own money. Because when you buy a digital game, you don't actually own it. You only own the license to use it. A license that can be revoked at any time if you really think about it. If you violate terms of service, if you lose access to your account. In some cases, if you don't even use your account for a certain amount of time, then they'll just delete it. And they won't give you any money back. They won't recompensate you at all. It's crazy. I wanted to talk about something specific, though, about that. And I think it's about the protests that are probably happening soon. Like, for example, that blackout for 1 week. Don't use your PlayStation. And I think it's good to raise your voice, to protest, to bring your concerns to the table, but the reality is Sony doesn't care. They don't care because they're calling your bluff. They don't care because they know that you have no self-control. They don't care because you are a slave to your passion. And I use that word very deliberately. And the reason why I use that word slave is because a slave always takes what their master gives them. The slave might complain. The slave might protest. But at the end of the day, the slave will still obey its master. See, the only way you can actually make a difference, besides closing your wallet, meaning not purchasing any more Sony games or PlayStation products, is you simply not using your PlayStation at all. Leave it in the dust, put it in the closet, and don't ever turn it on until they reverse the decision. And that's going to be nearly impossible for the average person. Because again, you have invested so much time and money into that ecosystem, and Sony knows this, that you can't just walk away. You became a slave to your passion. And I speak from experience because I have invested over 20 years into my Xbox account, into the Xbox ecosystem. And it's only a matter of time before Microsoft will start ending physical media. I think they're only holding out now because they see the backlash, and Microsoft really can't afford to make any more bad PR moves at this point. But the point is, I'm trying to make, Sony, PlayStation is not going to care unless you absolutely stop using your PlayStation. And that's the only way. I'm sorry. I know many people are not going to do it. I know that most people are not going to care. Most people are going to accept the all-digital future. The future where you will own nothing and you will be happy. Because you choose to be a slave to your passion. So what am I doing about it? Ever since the announcement, I left my PlayStation at my parents' house. I've stopped using it. I haven't used it in a while, so I've just left it there. So I've stopped using it altogether. I have obviously not bought a PlayStation game in a while, so I'm obviously never buying another PlayStation game ever again. I don't care if I miss out on the greatest exclusives that may come out in the future. I don't care if I miss out on Bloodborne 2, if that ever happens. I don't care. Because I refuse to be a slave to my passion. I love video games. I love them to death. I created, my whole hobby around video games. But I am not a slave to my passion. There has to be a line that needs to be drawn for the sake of your own dignity, for the sake of ownership. And there's no other way I can find to say this, because if I say it in a nicer way, I don't think people will reciprocate. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say the word, but I can't pronounce it right now, but I don't think it would catch their attention. So I think reciprocate. No, sorry, I can't speak. I won't try it again. But what I want to say is, the only way to make a difference, to make Sony and PlayStation understand that you are not going to be taken advantage of like this, is to stop using their product. Like I said, I stopped using my PlayStation. I'm not going to buy PlayStation games again. And on the Xbox, I am strictly only buying physical games whenever I can. If it is a game that is only available digitally, I will wait until there's a physical release, or that there's an announcement there will be never a physical release. If it's something that I really want, or if it goes on a very deep sale. But if it doesn't, if it's something that I don't need, then I won't buy it. because you have to use your wallet to make people change their minds. Anyway, that's all I got. Don't be a slave to your passion, and vote with your wallet. Have a good night. Thank you.